Alright, first pack. Oh, shit, this isn't too bad. Alright. Well, I had hoped to have my not plan thing set up, but I forgot to do that. Alright, first pack. I got that foil far art land. Ronas's Last Stand. 2 mana sorcery, create a 5/4 green snake creature token. Your lands don't untap on your next untap step. So 5/4 on turn 2 is pretty damn strong. And we got a shiny forest here. Pack number 2. Scavenger Grounds. Desert land, taps for colorless, or you may pay 2 and sacrifice a desert to exile all cards from all graveyards. So you can sacrifice another desert, doesn't have to be that one. Seems like a decent card for Legacy and Modern to deal with graveyard base decks. Alright, this one I think is worth quite a bit now since Red Deck Wins has been doing well on Pro Tour. Come on. Earthshaker Kenra. 2 mana, 2/1 with haste. When it enters the battlefield, target creature power less than or equal to Earthshaker Kenra's power can't block this turn. You may eternalize it for 6 mana. If you eternalize it, it becomes a 4/4 black zombie Jackal Warrior with no mana cost, and you can only do that as a sorcery. Alright, next pack. We got a God Pharaoh's Gift, which I'm actually hoping to open 4 of these because I want to kind of play this deck. God Pharaoh's Gift is a 7 mana artifact. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may exile a creature card from your graveyard. If you do, create a token that's a copy of that card, except it's a 4/4 black zombie and it gains haste until end of turn. And I have a foil Jeru's Renunciation. Not entirely sure how to pronounce that one. 2 mana instant, tap up to 2 target creatures, and cycle for 1 white mana. Next pack. Angel of Condemnation. 4 mana, 3/3 Flying Vigilance Angel. Pay 3 mana, exile another target creature. Return that card to battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of next end step. Pay 3, exert Angel of Condemnation, exile another target creature until Angel of Condemnation leaves the battlefield. Condemnation. My camera doesn't seem to want to focus. Next pack. Hostile Desert. Alright, this is a desert land, taps for a colorless mana. You may pay 2, exile a land card from your graveyard to make it a 3/4 elemental creature until end of turn. It's still a land. Hour of Revelation. Good EDH card. 6 mana sorcery, it costs 3 less to cast if there are 10 or more non-land permanents on the battlefield, and you may destroy all non-land permanents. And we got a foil Crook and Condemnation. A 2 mana artifact, pay 1, exile target card from a graveyard, or pay 1, exile Crook of Condemnation, exile all cards from all graveyards. Unfortunately, it is not as strong as Relic Progenitus, which is cheaper and lets you also draw a card. Alright, next pack. Oketra's Last Mercy. 3 mana sorcery, your life total becomes equal to your starting life total, and lands you control don't untap during their next untap step. Seems like an alright sideboard card if you're dealing with like burn or something, but I don't know, it's just not my cup of tea. Next pack. Apocalypse Demon. A 6 mana flying demon has power and toughness equal to the number of cards in your graveyard. At the beginning of your upkeep, tap Apocalypse Demon unless you sacrifice another creature. Oops. So if you're playing a Dredge deck or something like that, you can make him pretty strong. But unless you got other creatures, he's not getting any damage in there. Right, we got Mirage Mirror. This is an interesting one. This is a 3-mana artifact. You may pay 2 to make it a copy of target artifact, creature, enchantment, or land until end of turn. Do some funky stuff with that. Torment of Hailfire. 2 black and an X sorcery. Repeat the following process X times. Each opponent loses 3 life unless that player sacrifices a non-land permanent or discards a card. Huh. That seems pretty strong. Oh, we got a double rare pack. And we got a split card, Driven, 2 mana sorcery. Until end of turn, creatures you control gain trample, and whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. And Despair, 2 mana sorcery, Aftermath. Until end of turn, creatures control gain menace, and whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, that player discards a card. So it's kind of like Feast and Famine. And I have a foil Hour of Devastation, namesake for this expansion. 5 mana sorcery, all creatures are indestructible until end of turn, and it deals 5 damage to each creature and each non-bolus planeswalker. Now, any sort of planeswalker wrath is pretty hard to come by. Alright, this is pack number 13. Hollow One. Hollow One is a 5 mana artifact creature golem, has 4 power, 4 toughness, and he costs 2 less to cast for each card you cycled or discarded this turn. You may also cycle it for 2 mana. So then, you could cast that as early as turn 2, I think. Right? Nah. I don't have a 1 mana dork anymore, I don't think. You'd have to turn 3 it, I guess, unless you have a way to cycle for free. Alright, we have Jeru with Eyes Open. A 5 mana 4/3 of Vigilance. He enters the battlefield, you may search your library for a Planeswalker card, reveal it, put it into your hand, and shuffle your library. And if a source would deal damage to a Planeswalker you control, prevent 1 of that damage. Amit Eternal. A 3 mana zombie crocodile demon. That's a mouthful right there. 5/5, afflict 3. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, put a -1/-1 counter on Amit Eternal. Whenever Amit Eternal deals combat damage to a player, remove all -1/-1 counters from it. Seems like a decent card. Alright, I've finally got a mythic rare. Uncage the Menagerie. 2 green and X. Search your library for up to X creature cards with different names that each have converted mana cost X. Reveal them, put into your hand, and shuffle your library. So if you pay X1, you may search your library for a creature with converted mana cost 1. If you pay X2, you can search your library for 2 creatures with converted mana cost 2. If you pay 3, you can search for 3 different creatures with converted mana cost 3. So on and so forth. I don't really think you'd be using that card for past 3 though. So I don't know. 4 mana, 4 different 4 mana creatures seems far-fetched. Alright, we got a 3 mana artifact. Abandoned Sarcophagus. You may cast non-land cards with cycling from your graveyard. If a card with cycling would be put into your graveyard from anywhere and it wasn't cycled, exile it instead. So, lets you cycle twice. No, it doesn't let you cycle twice. Lets you cycle a card to get the draw, and then you can still cast it. Dream Stealer. Alright, Dream Stealer is a 3-mana human wizard with 1 power, 2 toughness. He has menace, and whenever he deals combat damage to a player, that player discards that many cards. May eternalize it for 6 mana, which exiles him from the graveyard, and you create a token that's a copy of him, except it's a 4/4 black zombie human wizard with no converted mana costs, and you may only do this as a sorcery. Next pack. Leave to Chance. Leave is a 2-mana instant, return any number of target permanents you enter your hand. Chance is 4 mana aftermath sorcery, discard any number of cards and draw that many cards. And we have a foil Manalith. Just a 3-mana artifact that tests for any color. Manalith's been around for a while. Okay, next pack. Yep, we got another mythic. Neheb the Eternal. It's a 5-mana legendary creature, zombie minotaur warrior, 4 power, 6 toughness, has afflict 3. At the beginning of your post-combat main phase, add red to your mana pool for each 1 life your opponent has lost this turn. So essentially you'll get at least 3 mana every time he attacks. If your opponent blocks him, they're going to lose 3 life. If they don't block him, they're going to take 4. Oh! We got a invocation. Avatar of Woe. 8 mana avatar. It's a 6/5. If there are 10 or more creature cards in total in all graveyards, Avatar will cost 6 less to cast. It has fear, and you tap destroy target creature, and it can't be regenerated. I really wish this would focus. There we go. And I have an Hour of Glory. This is a 4-mana instant. Exile target creature. If that creature was a god, its controller reveals his or her hand. Exile all cards from it with the same name as that creature. Still a 4-mana exile. If it was a little cheaper, I'd like it better. Okay. Pride Sovereign. Card for the crazy cat ladies out there. Say 3-mana 2/2. Pride Sovereign gets +1/+1 for each other cat you control. You may pay white to exert him. Create 2 1/1 white cat creature tokens with lifelink. So, combat trick. I declare him as a blocker, I exert him, make 2 1/1 whites, and he becomes a 4/4. Right, next pack. Nimble Obstructionist. I like this card. This is a 3-mana 3/1 with flash, flying, and cycling. When you cycle it, you may counter target activate or triggered ability you don't control. Pack 24 from the first box. Kefnet's Last Word. 4-mana sorcery, gain control of target artifact, creature, or enchantment. Lands you control don't untap during their next untap step. Shoot, I would hope that'd be instant speed with that no untap clause. Right, pack 25. We got another Dream Stealer. It's the 3 mana, 1/2 with Menace. Whop. Come on. There we go. 1/2 Menace. When he deals combat damage to a player, that player discards that many cards, eternalize it for 6 mana. Next pack. Resilient Kenra. Say 2/2 for 2 mana. Come on. Sometimes this thing can be a pain. There we go. 2/2 for 2 mana. When it enters the battlefield, you have target creature get +X until end of turn, where X is Resilient Kenra's power, and eternalize it for 6 mana. And we have a foil Strategic Planning. Okay, it's gonna get old real fast. Strategic Planning. 2 mana sorcery. Look at the top 3 cards of your library, put one of them into your hand and the rest into your graveyard. So it's a good mill strategy card. Or not mill, dredge. I guess that would be dredge. Next pack. Chaos Maw. Actually, there's a big dumb creature. It's a 7 mana 6/6. When it enters the battlefield, deals 3 damage to each other creature. So I guess there's a bomb in limited, but nothing else. Because for 7 mana, you want a creature that's going to end the game for you. Alright, next pack. Adorned Pouncer. And this is an alright card. It's a 1/1 double strike for 2 mana, and you can eternalize for 5 mana. So 5 mana from the graveyard, you get a 4/4 double strike. Talk about value. Oh, got a mythic. I like this card. This is a 5 mana 5/5. It's a horse. Other horses you control have indestructible, and at the beginning of each end step, if you gain life this turn, create a 5/5 white horse creature token. Too bad he doesn't have lifelink yet. Hour of Eternity. Alright. Shh. Just dropped my card. Alright, this is a sorcery for 3 blue and double X. Exile X target cards from your graveyard. For each card exiled this way, create a token that's a copy of that card, except it's a 4/4 black zombie. So for 5 mana, I exile 1 creature from my graveyard, make a 4/4 token that's a copy of it. For 7 mana, I get 2 of those creatures. It's kind of like a Unburial Rites or any other reanimate card. It just overwrites the power and toughness to 4/4. Alright, we got another Hour of Devastation. Five mana sorcery. All creatures lose indestructible until end of turn. Hour of Devastation deals 5 damage to each creature and each non-bolus planeswalker. Why is this so hard for this thing to focus? Nothing? Come on. Alright, next pack. Ramanop Hydra. 4 mana 3/3, Vigilant, Reach, and Trample. It gets +1/+1 as long as you control a desert, and it gets +1/+1 as long as there's a desert in your graveyard. So this is a potential 5/5 Vigilance, Reach, Trample for 4 mana. Not bad. Not game breaking, but not bad. Grind to Dust. I think I got these back to back at pre-release and they're pretty strong. This is Grind is a 2-mana sorcery. Put a -1/-1 counter on each of up to 2 target creatures. Dust sorcery. Exile any number of target creatures that have -1/-1 counters on them. This camera loves to spaz out for no reason. Hey, focused. Next pack. Oh, we got a foil. Reason to Believe. 1 blue mana sorcery. Simply scry 3. Believe, 5 mana sorcery. Aftermath. Look at the top card of your library. You may put it onto the battlefield if it's a creature card, if you don't put it into your hand. So, pretty much on turn 4 you play Reason to scry. Figure out which card you want to play next turn, then you play Believe on turn 5 or whenever you have 5 mana. And hopefully you put a big creature out for free. Well, for 5 mana. And I got a foil Lurching Rot Beast. 4/2 for 4 mana, and you cycle it for 1 black mana. Yep, we got a double rare. We got Wildfire Eternal. It's a 4 mana 1/4 with Afflict 4. Whenever it attacks and isn't blocked, you may cast an instant or sorcery card from your hand without paying its mana cost. So that really makes your opponent think about if they want to take 4 from Afflict, or if they want to let you cast something for free. And I have a Refuse to Cooperate. I think it's the foil that's messing with it. There we go. Refuse is a 4 mana instant. It deals damage to target spell's controller equal to that spell's converted mana cost. Cooperate is 3. Instant Aftermath. Copy target instant or sorcery spell. You may choose new targets for the copy. Alright, last pack from box 1. Oh, we got another mythic. Unesh, Cryosphinx Sovereign. It's a 6 mana 4/4 flyer. It's a Sphinx, obviously. It gives other Sphinx social casts have a reduced cost of 2. Whenever Unesh, Cryosphinx Sovereign, or another Sphinx enters the battlefield under your control, reveal the top 4 cards to your library. An opponent separates those cards into 2 piles, one into your hand and the other into your graveyard. Well, that's all for box 1. Box number 2. Alright, box 2, pack 1. Solemnity. Shit, I'm not sure how to pronounce that one. Solemnity. 3 mana enchantment. Players can't get counters, and counters can't be put on artifacts, creatures, enchantments, or lands. This is annoying the hell out of me. Pack number 2. Another Pride Sovereign. It's our 3 mana 2/2 cat. Gets +1/+1 for each other cat you control. Pay a white and exert it to make 2 1/1 white cat creature tokens with lifelink. Oh, we got another Crested Sunmare. Five mana 5/5. Other horse you control have indestructible. At the beginning of each end step, if you gain life this turn, create a 5/5 white horse creature token. Get your life gain out. Another Nibble Obstructionist. Three/1 Flash Fire for 3 mana, and cycle for 3 mana, and when you cycle it, you may counter target activate or triggered ability you don't control. Torment of Hailfire. I do like this one, and I kind of want to build a deck around it. Well, not around it, but with it. 2 mana, or double black and X sorcery. Repeat the following process X times. Each opponent loses 3 life unless that player sacrifices a non-land permanent or discards a card. So hopefully you're not using it against a token generator deck, otherwise you're just pretty much doing a warp wave. And we got a foil. And we got Bontu's Last Reckoning. 3 mana sorcery, destroy all creatures, lands you control, don't untap during your next untap step. And a foil Proven Combatant. A 1 mana 1/1, Eternalize for 6. So drop him turn 1 or bring him back as a 4/4 later on. Endless Sands, we got another desert. Endless Sands. It's a desert, task for a colorless mana. Pay 2, exile target creature control. Pay 4, sacrifice Endless Sands. Return each creature card exile with Endless Sands to the battlefield under its owner's control. We got Cheru with Eyes Open again. 5 mana 4/3 with Vigilance. When he enters the battlefield, you may search your library for a Planeswalker card, reveal it, put it into your hand, and shuffle your library. If a source would deal damage to a Planeswalker control, prevent 1 of that damage. Grind to Dust. 2 mana sorcery, put a /1/1 counter on each of up to 2 target creatures, and Dust. Sorcery Aftermath, 4 mana, exile any number of target creatures that have /1/1 counters on them. Adorned Pouncer. 2 mana 1/1 double strike, Eternalize for 5 mana. Getting a lot of doubles so far. Abandoned Sarcophagus. 3 mana artifact. You may cast non-land cards with cycling from your graveyard, and if a card with cycling would be put into your graveyard from anywhere that wasn't cycled, exile instead. Alright, pack 12 from box 2. Amit Eternal. 3 mana 5/5, afflict 3. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, put a /1/1 counter on an Amit Eternal. Whenever I'm an Eternal deals combat damage to a player, remove all -1/-1 counters from it. Driven to Despair. Driven, 2 mana sorcery. Until end of turn, creature control gain trample, and whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. Despair, sorcery aftermath. Until end of turn, creature control gain menace, and whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, that player discards a card. Apocalypse Demon. 6 mana flyer. Apocalypse Demon's power and toughness are each equal to the number of cards in your graveyard, and at the beginning of your upkeep, tap Apocalypse Demon unless you sacrifice another creature. Mirage Mirror. 3 mana artifact, pay 2 to make it a copy of target artifact, creature, enchantment, or land until end turn. We got a foil. Alright, another Wildfire Eternal. 4 mana, 1/4 with Afflict 4, and whenever it attacks and isn't blocked, you may cast an instant or sorcery card from your hand without paying its mana cost. And we have Bloodwater Entity. Red, blue, and colorless, flying prowess, 2 power, 2 toughness, and when it enters the battlefield, you may put target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard on top of your library. Gotta recycle those burn spells. I got another foil. Got Hollow One again. 5 mana artifact creature golem, 4 power, 4 toughness. Cost 2 less to cast for each card you cycled or discarded this turn, and cycling 2. You know what? You can cast this on turn 2 because you play. Is it 2 mana or is it 3 mana? It's I think it's called Cathartic Reunion or something like that. It's draw 3, discard 3. But I can't remember if it's. I think it might be 3 mana. You got Desert of the Glorified. Enters the battlefield tapped. Taps for a black, or you may pay 2 to cycle it. Fraying Sanity. Fraying Sanity is a 3 mana enchantment or a curse. Enchant player. At the beginning of each end step, enchant player puts the top X cards of his or her library into his or her graveyard, where X is the number of cards put into that graveyard from anywhere this turn. So essentially, it just makes your opponent mill as many cards as they've put into their graveyard this turn. Okay. Resilient Kenra. It's our giant growth on a stick. 2 mana, 2/2. When it enters battlefield, may have target creature get +X until end of turn, where X is Resilient Kenra's power. Eternalize for 6 mana. We got another Dream Stealer. He's stealing my dreams of opening good cards. 3 mana, 1/2 menace. When it deals combat damage to a player, that player discards that many cards. Eternalize for 6 mana. We got another foil land. Always good to see. We got Hour of Promise, 5 mana sorcery. Search your library for up to 2 land cards, put them on the battlefield tapped, then shuffle your library. Then if you control 3 or more deserts, create 2/2 black zombie creature tokens. And we got a nice shiny plains. double rare pack. And we got another Hostile Desert. Task for a colorless, pay 2 to exile land from your graveyard, and it becomes a 3/4 elemental creature until end turn that's still land. And we got a foil Pride Sovereign. 3 mana 2/2, gets +1/+1 for each other cat you control. Pay white, exert him. Create 2 1/1 white cat creature tokens with lifelink. Hazaret's Undying Fury. Alright. 6 mana sorcery, shuffle your library, then exile the top 4 cards. You may cast any number of non-land cards with converted mana cost 5 or less from among them without paying their mana cost. Lands you control don't untap during your next untap step. Alright, pack 24. Hour of Revelation. Right. 6 mana sorcery. Costs 3 less to cast if there are 10 or more non-land permanents on the battlefield. Destroy all non-land permanents. Ronas's Last Stand. 2 mana sorcery. Mana sorcery, create a 5/4 green snake creature token. Lands you control don't untap during their next untap step. Alright, we got Uncaged and Menagerie again. Based on what I've opened from this box, I'm wondering if I'm going to see Avatar Will again. It's like a mini game to get this thing to focus on the card. Uncaged Menagerie. 2 green and X sorcery. Search your library for up to X creature cards with different names that each have converted mana cost X. Reveal them, put them into your hand, and shuffle your library. Hour of Glory. Four mana, instant, exile target creature. If that creature was a god, its controller reveals his or her hand and exile all cards from it with the same name as that creature. Ramanop Excavator. This is a pretty good card. This is a 3 mana Naga Cleric. It's 2 power, 3 toughness, and you may play land cards from your graveyard. Has an insanely good ability because there's an artifact called Crucible of Worlds out there that's like $60 or something like that now. It has that same exact ability. The only difference is that it's an artifact, has no color, so it's a lot easier to put into the deck. You don't have to run green if you don't want to. And it's also less susceptible to most removal spells. But on a budget, that's pretty good replacement. Here we have Swarm Intelligence. Seven mana enchantment. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, you may copy that spell. You may choose new targets for the copy. So essentially, you just get to twin cast every spell you cast. Well, every instant sorcery at least. Then we got a foil. Got another Refuse to Cooperate. Come on. Alright, Fuse. 4 mana instant, deals damage to target spell's controller equal to that spell's converted mana cost. Cooperate. 3 mana instant, Aftermath, copy target instant or sorcery spell. You may choose new targets for the copy. And we have a foil Burning Fist Minotaur. 2 mana, 2/1 first strike, pay 2, discard a card, it gets +2/+0 until end of turn. Oh, got a Planeswalker. Samut the Tested. 4 mana, +1 ability, up to 1 target creature gains double strike until end of turn, -2 ability, Samut the Tested deals 2 damage divided as you choose among 1 or 2 target creatures and or players. -7, search your library for up to 2 target creatures and or planeswalker cards, put them on a battlefield and shuffle your library. 4 loyalty. So it's a good support card, looks like. The fact that it has removal as its minus ability, it's alright because it can help defend itself when it comes out. Most planeswalkers that can't do anything to defend themselves after you play them usually don't wind up being too good. Alright, we got another Chaos Maw. 7 mana, 6/6, and when it enters battlefield, deals 3 damage to each other creature. So it's just a big body with a small removal effect. Alright, we got another Earthshaker Kenra. Open up enough of these and I can just play red deck wins. 2 mana, 2/1. Haste, when it enters battlefield, target creature with power less than or equal to Earthshaker Kenra's power can't block this turn. Eternalize for 6 mana. And I got 3 packs left. Hour of Eternity. 3 blue and double X. Exile X target creature cards from your graveyard. For each card exiled this way, create a token that's a copy of that card, except it's a 4/4 black zombie. Oh, we got another Godpharaoh's Gift. 7 mana artifact. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may exile a creature card from your graveyard. If you do, create a token that's a copy of that card, except it's a 4/4 black zombie. It gains haste until end of turn. Last pack from box 2. Give me the money, give me the money. Well, we got a foil, but not that great of a pack. Got Hostile Desert again. Task for a colorless. There we go. 2 mana, exile land from your graveyard. Hostile Desert becomes a 3/4 elemental creature until end of turn, still a land. And we got a 5 mana Scrounger of Souls. Come on. Oh, okay, this is getting real old real fast. There we go. 5 mana, 3/4 lifelink. That was not worth the effort. Alright. And now we got box number 3. Let's hope to open up that Invocation Thoughtseize. That didn't happen. Ah, come on. Why has this box got to give me problems? Alright. Box 3, pack 1. We got a foil. We got another Scavenger Grounds. Tap for colorless or pay to sacrifice a desert, exile cards from all graveyards. And we got a Marauding Bone Slasher. 3 mana, 3/3. Can't block unless you control another zombie. We got Hour of Glory. 4 mana instant, exile target creature. If that creature was a god, its controller reveals his or her hand and exile all cards from the same name as that creature. Hour of Devastation. All creatures lose an indestructible until end of turn. Hour of Devastation deals 5 damage to each creature and each non-bolus planeswalker. At least one of the gods has sick toughness, I think, so it doesn't actually kill them all. And we got our Revelation. 6 mana sorcery, or costs 3 less to cast if there are 10 or more non-land permanents on the battlefield. Destroy all non-land permanents. Earthshaker Kenra. It's either 3 or 4 I own now. I know I've opened 3 from this so far. 2/1 for 2 mana. Haste when it enters battlefield. Target creature power less than or equal to Earthshaker Kenra's power can't block this turn. Eternalize for 6. Hour of Eternity. 3 blue, double X. Exile X target creature cards from your graveyard. For each card exiled this way, create a token that's a copy of that card, except it's a full 4 black zombie. Refuse to cooperate. Refuse, 4 mana instant, deals damage to target spell's controller equal to that spell's converted mana cost. Cooperate, Aftermath, copy target instant and sorcery spell, you may choose new targets for the copy. Adorned Pouncer. 2 mana, 1/1 with double strike, Eternalize for 5. Endless Sands. Tap for colorless, pay 2, exile target creature control, pay 4, sacrifice Endless Sands, return each creature card exiled with Endless Sands to the battlefield under its owner's control. So it's an anti-spot removal that lets you return stuff later on. We got another Torment of Hailfire. Double black and X, sorcery. Repeat the following process X times. Each opponent loses 3 life unless that player sacrifices a non-land permanent or discards a card. We got Eternal of Harsh Truce, 3 mana, afflict 2. When Eternal of Harsh Truce attacks and isn't blocked, draw a card. They'll likely block it. They'll take the 2 lives just so you don't draw a card. I got a God Pharaoh's Gift and a foil Plains. the beginning of combat on your turn, you may exile a creature card from your graveyard. If you do, create a token that's a copy of that card, except it's a 4/4 black zombie and gains haste until end turn. And we got a nice shiny plains. Alright, pack 12 from box 3. Yep, we got a double rare. Good old friend Chaos Maul. 7 mana, 6/6. When it enters battlefield, deal 3 damage to each other creature. We got a foil Grind to Dust. Grind, 2 mana sorcery, put a -1/-1 counter on each of up to 2 target creatures. I think my fingernails are trying to become the focus here. There we go. Dust, 4 mana sorcery, Aftermath. Exile any number of target creatures that have -1/-1 counters on them. So if you're doing 1 turn, you need 6 mana. That's pretty expensive to deal with 2 creatures. Right. Razaketh the Foul-Blooded. Razaketh the Foul-Blooded costs 8 mana. He's an 8/8 with Flying Trample. You may pay 2 life to sacrifice another creature, search your library for a card and put that card into your hand, then shuffle your library. Kefnet's Last Word. 4 mana sorcery, gain control of target artifact, creature, or enchantment. Lands you control don't untap during their next untap step. No, another Nimble Obstructionist. 3 mana Flash Flying, 3 power, 1 toughness. Cycle for 3 mana, and when you cycle it, you may counter target activator or triggered ability you don't control. Hollow One. Five mana, 4/4. Costs 2 less cash for each card you cycle or discard this turn, and cycle for 2 mana. Overwhelming Splendor. 8 mana, Enchantment Aura Curse. Enchant player. Creature enchanted player controls lose all ability and have base power and toughness 1/1. Enchanted player can't activate abilities that aren't mana abilities or loyalty abilities. So it's a budget version of Humility. Being that Humility costs a lot more than this card does. Well, in price, not in mana cost. We got another Mirage Mirror. 3 mana artifact, pay 2, make it a copy of target artifact, creature, enchantment, or land until end turn. Got a foil Desert of the Glorified. There's battlefield tapped, tap it for a black, or cycle it for 2 mana. I think I actually already opened up a foil desert. We got another Unesh Cryosphinx Sovereign. 6 mana, 4/4. Flying Sphinx spells you cast cost 2 less to cast. Whenever Unesh Cryosphinx Sovereign or another Sphinx enters battlefield under your control, reveal the top 4 cards of your library, and opponent separates those cards in 2 piles. Put 1 pile in your hand and the other into your graveyard. Hey, ghoul. Alright, we got Driven to Despair. 2 mana sorcery. Until end of turn, creatures you control gain trample, and whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. Despair is sorcery aftermath. Until end turn, creature control gain menace, and whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, that player discards a card. Yeah, I haven't seen you in a while. Ghoul, what's up? Alright, next pack we got Oketra's Last Mercy. 3 mana sorcery, your life total becomes equal to your starting life total. Lands you control don't untap during your next untap step. I'm opening up packs of Hour of Devastation from Magic the Gathering. It's doing 3-box unboxing. Alright, next pack, Hour of Promise. Hour of Promise is a 5-mana sorcery. Search your library for up to 2 land cards, put them onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle your library. Then, if you control 3 or more deserts, create 2 2/2 black zombie creature tokens. Alright, Nicol Bolas. Gold Pharaoh. 7 mana, 7 loyalty, +2. Target opponent exiles cards from the top of his or library until he or she exiles a non-land card. Until end turn, you may cast that card without paying its mana cost. +1. Each opponent exiles 2 cards from his or her hand. -4. Nicol Bolas deals 7 damage to target creature or to target opponent or creature opponent controls. -12. Exile each non-land permanent your opponent's control. These look like Yu-Gi-Oh cards. No, they are not Yu-Gi-Oh cards. They're much better than Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I can only assume you think that because of the whole Egyptian theme from this block. Imminent Doom. Imminent Doom is a 3-mana enchantment, enters the battlefield with a Doom counter on it. Whenever you cast a spell with converted mana cost equal to the number of Doom counters on Imminent Doom deals that much damage to target creature or player, then put a Doom counter on Imminent Doom. Huh. That's a interesting one. I have never seen it. Magic was around before Yu-Gi-Oh, I believe. This game's been going on for... I think this is like 22 years now or something like that. It's been around for a long time. And got another Adorned Pouncer. It's a 2-mana 1/1 double strike, eternalized for 5 mana. Next pack. We got another Pride Sovereign. 3 mana 2/2. Gets +1/+1 for each other cat you control. Pay white and exert it to create 2 1/1 white cat creature tokens with lifelink. Song requests off. Do I have them off? Let me see here. No, it's on. Song requests are on. You can request stuff. Alright, I got a foil Sandblast. 3 mana instant, deals 5 damage to target attacking or blocking creature. And we got a double rare pack. We got Hazaret's Undying Fury, 6 mana sorcery. Shuffle your library, then exile the top 4 cards. You may cast any number of non-land cards with converted mana cost 5 or less from among them without paying their mana cost. Lands you control don't untap during your next untap step. And we got a foil Mirage Mirror, which I'm kind of tired of seeing. Pun intended. 3 mana artifact, pay 2, becomes a copy of target artifact, creature, enchantment, or land until end of turn. Next pack. And we got the Locust God. I think this one's seen play in standard. The Locust God is 6 mana 4/4, flying. Whenever you draw a card, create a 1/1 blue and red insect creature token with flying haste. Pay 4 to draw a card, then discard a card. When the Locust God dies, return it to its owner's hand at the beginning of the next end step. And we have a foil Desert's Hold. 3 mana enchantment aura, enchant a creature. When Desert's Hold enters the battlefield, if you control a desert, or if there's a desert card in your graveyard, you gain 3 life. Enchant creature can't attack or block, and its activated abilities can't be activated. So it's like a rest, but if you got a desert, you gain 3 life. Bontu's Last Reckoning. Bontu's Last Reckoning costs 3 mana, it's a sorcery, and destroy all creatures. Lands you control don't untap during your next untap step. Got Swarm Intelligence. 7 mana enchantment. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, you may copy that spell. You may choose new targets for the copy. Request song. Is it a request song or is it what was the command? Alright, you had the had a space in there. I'll throw it on for you. Okay, next pack. Wildfire Eternal. 4 mana Zombie Jackal Cleric. 1 power, 4 toughness. Afflict 4. Whenever it attacks and isn't blocked, you may cast an instant or sorcery card from your hand without paying its mana cost. Next up is, we got a foil. We got Omid Eternal. 3 mana 5/5, afflict 3. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, put a -1/-1 counter on it, and whenever he deals combat damage to a player, remove all -1/-1 counters from him. We have a Consigned to Oblivion. Come on. These foil cards always seem to give me a hassle when it tries to focus. There we go. Consign is a 2-mana instant. Return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. Oblivion's 5 mana sorcery. Target opponent discards 2 cards. Now we got 4 packs left. I don't hear it playing. Your browser does not currently recognize any of the video formats available. Huh. I don't know, that song's not working right. The song just wasn't compatible. I don't know why. Alright. Next pack. We got another Resilient Kenra. I'm not sure. A Resilient Kenra is a 2 mana 2/2. When it enters battlefield, you may have target creature get +X/+X until end of turn, where X is Resilient Kenra's power, internalized for 6. And we got another foil proven combatant. 1/1 for 1 blue mana. Internalized for 6 mana. Alright, last of my 3 packs. Angel of Condemnation. 4 mana 3/3 Flying Vigilance. Pay 3 to exile another target creature. Return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control beginning of next end step. Pay 3 to exert Angel Condemnation. Then exile another target creature until Angel Condemnation leaves the battlefield. 2 packs left. We got another Abandoned Sarcophagus. Find a lot of these things all over the place, just abandoned everywhere. 3 mana artifact. You may cast non-land cards with cycling from your graveyard. If a card with cycling will be put into your graveyard from anywhere and it wasn't cycled, exile it instead. Last pack. Alright, we got a mythic. We got another Crested Sunmare. If it will focus. Nothing? No? Come on. Right here. Let's go. It's trying to focus on the map behind it. I don't know why. There we go. Crested Sunmare, 5 mana, 5/5. Other horses you control have indestructible. At the beginning of each end step, if you gain life this turn, create a 5/5 white horse creature token. Alright. Well, that's 3 boxes of our Devastation. We got some decent picks, and we also got an invocation. It was really nice to see. Good old Avatar of Woe. Which is a staple black card. Still played in EDH, I believe. Alright. Well, that's it for the unboxing. Have a nice day. I'll be back in a bit, cool, so sit tight. I'll be back in about an hour. Later, world.